My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I am reviewing BDK Parfums Oud Abramad. This is £175 for 100ml. The notes are saffron, ginger, heart notes of Turkish rose, cumin. The base notes are wood of oud, wood of gaiac, rock rose, incense, patchouli, castoreum, orchanox. Do we have our bottles of Oud Abramad? Are we engaged with the higher self? Let's get testing. So I think I've tested one. I think this is a really, really great house. I think it's really, really beautiful perfumery. Nice heavy bottle. So before we apply the fragrance, we're gonna look at the atomizer. That's what I'm looking for. So if you're gonna not use a high pressurized, engineered, crazy atomizer, this is what I wanna see. That's impressive. Like I said, thumbs up. And the atomizer is really, really good. So I love this. I think it's really, really great perfumery. That's off the start. This is a Western interpretation of oud. I think this is very, very wearable. I think it's very, very likable. I think it's unisex. Everything's been done so well. This has been blended beautifully. Based upon I Suis Super wood-like raw materials, which are smooth, really, really smooth, and ethylene brassylate, which is one of the easiest musks to work with. And ethylene brassylate is sort of liquid at room temperature. Galaxolide is thick, really, really difficult to work with. I hate galaxolide because when you work with it, it's sticky and it sticks to your hands. It's gross. Ethylene brassylate is incredibly easy to work with, and this gives this smooth and vanillic tone to the fragrance. The saffron is saffroline, kind of gives you that saffron sharpness to it, and you have to dose it correctly, and this has been dosed beautifully. There's also another version which I've got, which is they put an ethyl group on it as well, and that's less sort of metallic actually, but I prefer this one. This is a sort of beautiful amount of naturals in it as well to give you that sort of like very natural feeling. This smells very natural, smells very naturally oud. But there is a similarity, not exactly the same, but there's a similarity to Armani Oud Royale. This has got ginger in, so it's like a bit more of a spicy sort of version, but this has got that sort of interpretation of it. Not the same, but in the same family. I think it's absolutely fine, actually. Linalool compounds and linalool acetates in it to give it that sort of lift. Some sort of more amber-like raw materials within the sort of composition to give it that sort of like projection. This is radiant on me, quite surprising. This is like, I have tested this. I tested it really quick actually, but in here, where it's quite warm, it's quite radiant and it's sort of flying around. So perhaps you need to test this where it's warm. It's saying what it is. The patchouli, the gaiac wood, there's an essence of or wood of or something, I don't know. So gaiac wood, which I always pronounce wrong, gaiac wood, patchouli, which gives that sort of richness and softness at the back. The ginger's really nice as well. I don't know what's not to like, maybe if you don't like oud based fragrances. I think this is very easy to wear, very nice to wear, very easy to wear. On to my final thoughts. I love this. I think the atomizer is fantastic. The box, this is a really professional company, so it's safe, legal, compliant, which is what we all want. It has all of its regulatory paperwork. I think this is a starting oud. Very, very easy to wear. I think you could pick this up, put it on, and you just smell nice. I think it's absolutely unisex. I think it's very enjoyable to wear. But this is the but you see with it. You can sort of see that coming. I would have loved it amped up slightly. I would have loved some raw materials in there to give it more of a push, to give it a bit more harshness to it, and you can still maintain the overall sort of like soft aspect to it, and the linalool giving it that cleanness to it. But I would have loved some compounds in it to just maybe give it a bit more push, and that can be done without affecting the overall scent profile. I think you're going to get about 6 hours wear from this. I know there's people's skin out there which things go on for days, but on me it wasn't particularly the most monstrous thing in the world. It was absolutely fine, but I would have personally have loved a bit more push to it. I'd loved a little bit more sort of aggression with it. There's some raw materials you can see my eyes sort of like moving. There's raw materials I would have loved to have added to this, and they were sort of a bit more metallic, and adding a bit more metallic nature to this fragrance I think would have just pushed it away from being too safe. To me it feels so wearable. I believe this is their only oud fragrance, they got to get it right within this. So to me this feels like really wearable, really commercial, really easy to wear. That's fine, but personally I'd have loved sort of a slight metallic aspect to it, and that would have just made it more oudy. That sort of makes more sense to you. It would have added to the composition. But I think it's really, really beautiful smelling, to be honest with you. It smells very beautiful. It's very, very wearable, very easy to wear, and I can thoroughly recommend this. I'm reviewing a few of the other ones actually in a minute, and I'm kind of very excited to get onto them. I might say 9 out of 10. The one mark off is just because it's not giving us that thing. You know, I think that I would have loved that sort of very slight sort of metallic nature to it. There's other things I would have added to it just to give it a bit more push, a bit more aggression to it, but still kept the overall scent profile. But I think it's very, very beautiful, and I can thoroughly recommend it. So if you love that review, thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content. Lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance views. Hope staying safe and well. See you soon.